Tesla does awfully well on range tests, better than a lot of their competitors, but it looks like Porsche, with their refreshed Taycan, their new Taycan, their Toucan Too Furious, if you will, and I hope you will, may have just beaten them handily, and that's a good thing. I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla weekend. Going to start this off with a little bit of a different one. World's largest EV range test sees Tesla dethroned by an automaker you may not know yet. So every year, this group, the Norwegian Automobile Federation, does their El Prix event twice, in the winter and in the summer, where they bring out as many as they can get and just drive them to see what the range actually is. They caravan them so they're all going the same speed at the same time in the same weather conditions. And Tesla has dominated the last 4 years. But this year, there are some exciting new entrants who have done very well, specifically HiPhi Z, which is pretty exciting in its own right. This is all their articles about the HiPhi. Look at that. It's pretty cool. Looks good, I guess. It's great. It's great. Competition is the good thing. We want everybody to compete. We want everybody to do real good. This is a good thing. This is not something to be upset about. I did want to take a second to thank Larry and Mark, who both used my referral ID and got themselves a new Tesla, a Model Y and also a Model Y. I know I'd thanked one of them before, but I couldn't remember which one. My apologies for the delay. This is how I'm able to go to events. I convert these referral credits into supercharger miles, which I use very much. Thank you, guys. And you can support on Patreon or on YouTube as a channel member or on X as a subscriber. All of that helps. This is my full-time thing. I have an editor. It's his full-time thing. It's very lean living, but we're having a blast. And I thank you for your decision to support the channel. So Kyle Connor does great work. From Out of Spec Studios, Out of Spec Motoring, Out of Spec, all of the different things, detailing and podcast. He's amazing. He's one of the very few people who logs more miles than me doing this, and he is out there fighting it every day. Now, he doesn't have a video out yet, and if he did, I wouldn't show it because you gotta follow Kyle and see the video yourself. He needs to get paid too. So they went out and got their hands on the new refreshed Taycan from Porsche or Porsche or Porsche. Hey man, regional pronunciations, I'm not going to fault you for saying it a different way than me. And they drove it all the way to zero. And for the first time ever, Kyle's bladder of iron was defeated. He had to actually stop partway through the test. And if you look at this, the consumption is very good. 5.1 miles per kilowatt hour with an average speed of 50, which is a little bit lower. Now we will see later on that for the remainder of the test, he was going quite a bit faster. He had the cruise control set to 81. And I know what you're thinking. That's dangerously fast. Not everywhere. A lot of places have speed limits that are 70, 75, 80, 85. The San Antonio Speedway, I guess you should call it the San Antonio Expressway. It's not a speedway. That would imply that it's for racing, which it is. No, the San Antonio Expressway has a speed limit of 85. So if you were going to set your cruise control at 81, you would be getting past. So it's not a crazy speed. And yet, Kyle has us under the very strong impression that it went very, very well. I'm sure by the time this video is out, he will already have his video out. But Porsche's been doing really great at this. And more than that, we've got the charge curve. Johnny Levi, I apologize if I've said that wrong. Here's the charging curve that he shared from the Edmunds review. 300 kilowatts, up to 60%, still 200, and then it fell at about 75%. That's a really good charging curve. Tesla is once again raising the bar. They are absolutely crushing it. Now, if you'll recall, the Tesla Model S, I don't know if it was the Raven or the Refresh, but it held the record for an EV around the Nürburgring. And Porsche went out and beat it handily a few years ago, which led Elon and the team to get right out there with a new and improved one. And obviously not Elon himself. I'm just saying that because that's what everyone says. The engineers made some changes, got their new Plaid out there, and a year or so later had the Plaid out for customers to purchase. Now this Taycan 2 Furious does look good. It looks great. I thought the first one looked great too. They both look great. And it's very slippery in the wind tunnel, which is hugely, hugely beneficial. Yeah, that is really good charging speed. That is really good speed. And this, I believe, will push Tesla to up their game, which is what we need to see, especially with those 4680s. I believe those are still corked. We saw the same limited charge curve when the 2170s first came out until it was determined the maximum safe charging for longevity's sake. That's fine. They will improve, hopefully over the air and not through just improved chemistry and manufacturing, but we'll see. Very interesting to see. And I think it looks good too. So here they are out there, testing it for speed. And how did it go? Mr. Tesla X, I should smack a like there. I'm not going to play the audio, but he is talking about it. It is fast. It is a record lap. It beat the old Taycan. It beat the Plaid. And it's fast. It's fast. Now, if you want to really go crazy, Rimac went out and set a number so aggressively good that you couldn't beat it. But that's not really a production car. They're only going to make like 100 of them. They've only so far sold like 2. It's an engineering exercise and an absolutely brilliant piece of beautiful artwork. It's not really a car. It also costs more than 10 of these, so I'm not so sure that's exactly what we need to hear, but it's, interesting. And then, of course, you've got, 7:07 was the time, and that is fast. That's a quick car. When was this? Just this last month, a month ago. By the way, happy Groundhog Day. Forgot to tell you yesterday. My mother would have been 80, but she's in a better place. She always did like the heat. So we've got a lot of interesting stuff here. Pre-series. When it's a company like Porsche, their pre-release vehicles kind of match their release vehicles. I have confidence that this will be a very fast car, that it will be quicker around this particular track than the Plaid. And if you have never had a chance to drive in a Plaid, you should come out to Muskegon for our big event in June. We're having the Michigan Owners Club is having a big event on June 15th, and on June 16th, there's a ticketed event where you can ride in a Plaid. It's going to be very fun. And we expect to have a Cybertruck out there as well. If you've never gotten to experience a Plaid from 0 to, let's just say 60, it's not 60. They're very fun. It'll take the face fat and wrap it around the back of your head. Or at least it did that for me. Maybe your face is much younger and leaner than mine. For that matter, I'm having a birthday party. I'm turning 50 this year. I'm having a birthday party and you're invited July 3rd, north of Portland, between Portland and Seattle. Details to follow. You're invited. We'll make it special. It'll be a big one. My family is not coming. My brother's going to be out of town. My other siblings are out of town. And they're not coming. But you guys are my family. You're even better than them. So, hey, maybe I'll see you guys there. So, good news. It's all good news. The fact that Tesla has serious competition, both in terms of efficiency. The new Taycan appears to be significant in its improvements. From China as well, the HiPhi is already putting up some very impressive numbers. we are finally seeing the competition we had hoped to see. Now, mind you, this car is sufficiently expensive that you could buy a performance Model 3 and a Plaid S for the same amount of money. But, you know, what are you going to do? You can't drive two cars at the same time, I'm told. I've never tried. So, yeah, what did I miss? Leave some likes, some comments, do the usual thing, engage. Give it a thumbs down if you hate it. It doesn't bother me. I get it. I also don't watch this channel. I find it low class and unsophisticated. Everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on the flippity flop.